Hey everybody and welcome back to another video. This is How to Invest, Spencer here, and this one is going to be a much needed update on Penn National Gaming. As we can see here, the stock was down over 21% today, off of two very negative articles, or I guess news stories that broke on the stock today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll skip over the market cap. If you guys do frequently watch the channel, you will know I typically like to start with that, but I think these two stories are much more important than the valuation of the company. So the first story, which is surprisingly less substantial than the second one, as a result of the selling pressure today, Barstool Sports owner stock plunges as violent sex allegations about Dave Portnoy. If you read the article, there are very gruesome accusations against him by three women. And I'm not proving him guilty until proven innocent, or I don't even really want to touch the whole subject just because of the severity of it, and I don't want to claim anyone as a liar, as two parties are both claiming that. I don't know. If you read the article, you'll see what I mean, but he's essentially saying that none of this happened, and three girls are saying that he did very, very unacceptable things to them. But the real reason that I believe that the stock fell is because they missed their earnings by over 40%. So earnings is their bottom line, their profit that they made from the quarter. Their revenue was still in line, and I think it was a slight beat of $1.5 billion, which is still very, very substantial. But I think it was only $83 million of that $1.5 billion hit the bottom line. And a lot of people were freaking out because of the huge miss. If we look here, it says, yes, Penn National spiral began when it had a hefty miss on the profit as the session opened, 40% from a year ago. And really the reasons that they're blaming it for is Hurricane Ida, and then also the Delta variant, due to them having casinos and racetracks. It just made people less likely to go out and gamble, due to if they had financial hardships or just couldn't due to the Delta variant, or just the weather wouldn't permit them going out and gambling. They couldn't leave the house due to the hurricane. But they also talk about the accusations against Dave Portnoy. There's even a video if you want to look more into that. That's not really much of my concern. I personally don't think Dave Portnoy is essential to the stock of Penn National Gaming. That's personally the reason why I didn't buy in the first place, because I'm not a big fan of him, and I just don't think that he has a lot of redeeming qualities other than marketing himself, but it's not always in the most positive light, in my opinion. But if we look at the conversations around the stock, a lot of people that are retail investors are still very bullish. If we read here, Penn just reported their EBITDA R, which is a very rare indicator that people use, and it's really only used when there's an outlier for information reported, and typically companies won't report this number at all. But if you're interested what the acronym stands for, it is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, and restructuring or rent costs. So this last part is the part that typically isn't included. EBITDA is a very common figure for trying to measure how much money the company is earning on the bottom line. Just because a lot of companies do earn money through other various ways, and it's more accurate for a lot of people than gross profit. But they says the EBITDA R of 480 million compared to 537 million is a slight miss, yes, but still much closer in line than a 40% miss on the EBITDA and gross profits or earnings on the bottom line. So this person is saying that the management said the third quarter was affected by the hurricane and Delta, and if you invest if you want investment ideas, they're just plugging their platform. But there was one other company or comment that I wanted to make or read, and it was, I think it was this one. Revenue met expectations. Earnings missed by 30 cents or so. Even with a high expense quarter, they had 54 cents or so, which as far as I can tell, they're a very profitable company, which they are, which is the reason that I'm invested in them rather than DraftKings, because DraftKings doesn't currently make money and they won't for a long time in the future because they have a very hard time getting people to sign up for their app. They have to pay them a large sum of money just for people to use the DraftKings app. If you follow any sports or listen to any sports YouTube channels, a lot of them are sponsored by DraftKings and they advertise all the time. And it costs a lot of money. And Penn National has Barstool Sports, which still can live on even if the acquisitions are true. They still have other individuals that people love, such as Big Cat. I mean, that's the only other one that I know. I don't personally really follow Barstool, but people really love the whole culture of it. And most of the people my age are diehard fans. But we keep saying, this morning the CEO stated that he went into high expense. We already said that. Patience is probably a good characteristic to embrace, buying the dip, staying long, and patient. But yeah, most of the people, if not all of them, are very, very bullish after this big drop and see it as a good buying opportunity. So I just wanted to put that out there, that the general consensus of the retail investor see this as just a good entry point if you're not already in the stock, or a good buy the dip opportunity. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out, I missed one comment on here. If you guys were interested, this doesn't really do anything for me. This isn't why I would invest in any companies, but this person says, Wall Street Bets just posted, they will not tolerate cancel culture and will drive this to $200 if a short interest accumulates or builds up. So, I mean, if that does anything for you, I just wanted to leave that there. But for me, Wall Street Bets, I mean, yes, they can have a great influence on a stock that you own, but I don't see it as a reason to invest in a stock just because it doesn't really have anything to do with the fundamentals or the technicals. But if you made it this far into the video and enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.